Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check 1 2 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. And good afternoon, and welcome inside Nobby's Ballpark for the regular season finale for the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. As Case Western Reserve taking on crosstown rival John Carroll University. The Spartans coming in 26-12-1 on the season, coming off of a midweek win over Baldwin Wallace, a thrilling come-from-behind win. They enter the ninth down 2. Came from behind to score 3 in the ninth, a walk-off RBI single for Jay Smith winning it for the Spartans. Meanwhile, John Carroll faced Baldwin Wallace in a doubleheader on Friday, and in that one dropped both games of the doubleheader. John Carroll losing the first game 10-3, a 2-0 loss in game 2. So we'll see what these two teams can do here today for the Spartans, playing for seeding right now as much as anything and hoping to secure what certainly appears to be a strong hold at the moment on a potential hosting opportunity. Meanwhile, John Carroll looking to head into their conference tournament strong. They stand on the year now at 22-14, so a chance for the Blue Streaks to strengthen their resume further. So we are about set to get going here. Without further ado, let's go ahead and give you the batting order for John Carroll. It'll be George Harris leading things off. He'll be followed by Michael Persichetti. Ethan Glossa, the left fielder, hits third, and then Sean Frittinger is the cleanup hitter and playing right. Eric Dalgenti, the center fielder, in the 5 spot. Connor Maley, the third baseman, hits 6th. Sam D'Amelio is the designated hitter, batting 7th. Patrick Sherman catching and batting 8th, and then Jack Harmon is the first baseman. He will hit 9th. Roger Simon on the mound today for John Carroll. We'll tell you more about him when he takes the hill in the bottom of the inning, but it will be his second appearance this season against the Spartans. For Case Western Reserve defensively, over at first base is Tyler Stilson. Second baseman is Franco Alonso. The third baseman is Zach Carinci, and the shortstop is Nate Arterburn. In the outfield, Logan Andreyko back in the lineup and playing left field. Center fielder is Matt Trout. He's had a couple strong outings lately, and over and right is Nick Harms. Doing the catching today will be Jack Anderson, and pitching to him will be Quinn Saunders. Saunders has done some of his best work on the mound as of late after a real rocky start to the year. He's settled in over his last half dozen or so appearances and, frankly, been one of the better pitchers for the Spartans throughout conference play, where he really shined over the course, and that was capped off by just an absolutely beautiful outing against Brandeis in which he took a no-hitter into the 6th inning of that one. He went 6 2/3 innings total, allowed just 2 hits, 3 walks, struck out 7 in that win over Brandeis, and a big win for the Spartans. It came after that loss in the first game. He battled back to pick up the win, and that really turned the tide a bit for Saunders and the Spartans with that win, and kind of stemmed some Brandeis momentum in that series with a pretty dominating pitching performance. Overall in the season, Quinn 2-1 with a 3.66 ERA. He's made 11 appearances, including 9 starts. He's gone 32 total innings, allowed just 20 hits. That's a 177 opponent's batting average. Again, allowing hits has never been the issue for Quinn. The big issue at times can be control, but even that has been better lately. He has walked 30 in 32 innings this season, but he has struck out 41 in that same stretch. And so, again, we will see what Saunders can do here today. In his last now 12 innings of work, he struck out a total of 15 batters. That includes a season-high 8 against NYU on April 19th, 2 starts ago for Saunders. So the Spartans about ready to take the field here for their final game of the regular season. Again, unlike most years where Case Western, or at least past years, where Case Western Reserve had been unsure of their postseason berth, even in years where they've had a pretty good handle that they were going to get in. Nothing was official until Selection Sunday. A different story this year for the Spartans, who will enter this knowing they have won the conference's automatic bid, the first ever UAA automatic bid to the postseason. And so Case Western Reserve will be in the tournament in 2 weeks' time. In fact, 2 weeks from today, we'll be playing a regional final. The Spartans hoping to be a part of that and hoping to host it here on graduation weekend on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. So we are moments away from getting started. Quinn Saunders in the bullpen taking his final warm-ups. We will take a quick break, be back with you in just a second. Well, here go the Spartans. They're heading out to the field now. Again, if you're a Case Western Reserve, just looking to keep momentum going, you've now won 4 in a row. 6 of the last 7 games. That win over Baldwin Wallace the last time out, a fun one. Nathan Hoverston, the home plate umpire today. Nathan, I believe the son of Sean Hoverston, the umpire well known in these parts. He's been around a long time. And I believe this is his son, Nathan. Out in the field today is Ken Krislovic. Saunders finishing up his warm-ups here, and we are just about set to get going with the final game of the regular season for each of these two teams. John Carroll, I believe, in the OAC postseason. And so certainly the Blue Streaks, who will play in that conference tournament next weekend. It's the top 4 who go in the OAC. John Carroll will be the 4th seed. And so I believe facing Mount Union. In their postseason. So Saunders will complete the warm-ups. Getting around the infield with the Spartans. Same lineup we've seen out there. Stilson, Alonzo, Arterburn, and Carinci in the infield. In the outfield, it's and Draco, Trout, and Harms today. Anderson doing the catching, and Quinn Saunders will get set to get things going here against the top of the order for John Carroll in the first. It'll be George Harris, followed by Michael Persichetti and Ethan Glossa for the Blue Streaks here. Saunders did not pitch against John Carroll in either of the 2 matchups earlier in the season. And his first pitch on the way is down low for a ball, 1-0. Saunders did not pitch against John Carroll last year either, as that one grounded towards first. Glove there by Stilson, who will jog it to the bag. And 2 pitches in, Harris grounds out for the first out of the game. That'll bring up Michael Persichetti, who's hitting at .274 on the year. He's driven in 13. No home runs for Persichetti. So 1 away here with Saunders, the left-handed pitcher out of Palos Park, Illinois. A sophomore in his 2nd year, coming off of that great freshman season. Struggled a little early on this season, but seems to have rounded into form as the year has moved on. First pitch, fastball is low, 87 miles an hour there from Saunders for ball 1. We welcome you into Nobby's Ballpark on a cloudy and at times rainy Sunday morning, hoping the rain will stay away long enough for us to get 9 in today. As the 1-0. That one lifted in the air, right field. Harms is right there. And he will put it away. 4 pitches, 2 outs for Saunders here in the first. And now Ethan Glossa will try to prevent a 1-2-3 inning. Glossa, the best hitter in this John Carroll lineup. He's hitting at .355 on the season. 3 home runs and a team-high 45 runs batted in. He's also stolen 24 bases on 27 attempts, so he's got some pretty good speed as well. First pitch from Saunders. And the fastball in the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Saunders hitting his spots early on here. First batter he's actually gotten ahead in the count on. Hasn't affected him thus far. Is that one in the air? Center field. Trout lines it up. Puts it away, and it's a 6-pitch first inning for Quinn Saunders, who sits the side down in order. And we'll move to the bottom of the first in a scoreless game between John Carroll and Case Western Reserve. Let's go in and get you the batting order for the Spartans. Leading things off will be Jack Anderson, the catcher. Nick Harms, the right fielder, will bat second. Dane Camphausen, who has 17 home runs this season, 6 in the last 3 games. He's homered 2 times in each of his last 3 games now. He'll be in the 3 spot. Tyler Stilson hitting cleanup today, and then Franco Alonso batting 5th. Zach Carinzi, the third baseman, bats 6th. Matt Trout, the center fielder, 7th. Logan Andraco playing left and batting 8th, and then Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, will hit 9th. Defensively for John Carroll, first baseman is Jack Harmon, second baseman is George Harris. The shortstop is Michael Persichetti, and over at third is Connor Maley. In the outfield, Ethan Glossa in left, Sean Fritinger in right field. Eric Dalgenti will be in between the two in center. Doing the catching is Patrick Sherman, and on the mound is Roger Simon. Simon, 3-2 this season with a 2.29 ERA through his 10 appearances, which includes 6 starts. He has thrown 39 and a third innings, giving up just 33 hits, opponents hitting only 236 against him. He's walked just 19 in that stretch, struck out 25. And so Simon, the right-handed pitcher, will attempt to shut down a Spartan lineup that has been red hot lately. Simon, who wears number 13, is a junior from Niles, Illinois, attended Wilmette Loyola Academy, 6'2". He's making his second appearance of the season against the Spartans. He pitched in the 4-1 loss and actually had a no decision in that game. Allowed just 7 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and an unearned run. And will face the Spartans top of the order here in the bottom of the first. Anderson, Harms, and Camphausen due up. Jack Anderson, the catcher, hitting at .365 on the season. Did not reach base on Tuesday against Baldwin Wallace. It was the first time this season and the first time in his last 51 games that Anderson has not reached base. Takes that one down and out. Ball 1, and it's a 1-0 count on Jack Anderson, who is hitting at .365 on the season. 4 home runs, 36 runs batted in for Jack Anderson. The 1-0 pitch. Well outside, 2-0. So Anderson ahead in the count. And he swings, ground ball through the third base side for a base hit for Anderson. He'll take a big turn at first, but pause there, and Anderson with a leadoff single, driving that one past the diving attempt by Connor Maley at third base. So Nick Harms will now be the batter. Harms hitting at .392 on the season. 11 home runs, 47 RBIs for Harms this year. He's also stolen 17 bases on his many tries. And he will await the first pitch from Simon. And he takes it inside, ball 1. Slider broke inside against Harms, and it's a 1-0 count. Pickoff attempt at first. Anderson gets back. The Spartans continue to steal bases in bunches and successfully. The Spartans stole 5 bases on 5 attempts against Baldwin Wallace on Tuesday as the 84-mile-an-hour fastball catches the inside corner for a strike, 1-for-1. The team has now stolen a program record 98 bases this season. They've also been successful in their last 39 stolen base attempts, and that's over the course of their last 9 games entering today. Anderson not running there as the slider towards the back foot of Harms, taken down low for ball 2, 2-1. That's actually a changeup, excuse me. So 2-1 now on Harms. The hitters count for a power hitter at the plate. That one thrown back to first, not in time. Unlike the last few games here, there appears to be very little, if any, wind today. The ball has been flying out of this ballpark lately, in part due to a pretty strong wind that is really for the last couple games the Spartans have played here, as that fastball just catches the upper outside corner, and the count evens 2-2. The last few games, the wind has been blowing hard and out, and that has certainly helped the Spartans somewhat. 2-2, and down and in, and it hit Harms. So Harms is hit by the pitch, and he'll take a base, and now 2 on, nobody out for Dane Camphausen. Well, Dane Camphausen has been as hot as anybody in Division III baseball the last 2 weeks. Really, the last 3 weeks between the NYU series, the Brandeis series, hit 2 more home runs against Baldwin Wallace. He now has 17 home runs. That's a program record this season. 54 runs batted in this year. So a dangerous spot here for Simon, who gets Camphausen to swing and foul back the first pitch, 0-1. To give you an idea of how impressive the 17 home runs from Camphausen this season are, prior to Nick Harms, who now has over 40 home runs for his career, the program career record for home runs was 21 for a career. Dane Camphausen has 17 this season alone. Fastball misses up and into Camphausen, who moves out of the way. And it's a 1-1 count now on the Spartan slugger. 2 on, nobody out for Camphausen, who is red hot at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Up high, another fastball that missed, and it's 2-1. Camphausen did not play when these two teams met previously. That was during that stretch of games that Dane missed due to that quad injury that he is now back and seems to be fully healthy. That's outside. 3-1 now on Camphausen with Tyler Stilson, who's swinging a good bat on his own right, is out on deck. So after Quinn Saunders threw 6 pitches to get the 3 outs in the top of the inning, Simon already 12 pitches deep here in the bottom of the first, yet to retire a batter. The 3-1 to Camphausen with 2 on and nobody out. And swung on back up towards the pitcher. He'll go to third to get the lead runner across the diamond to first in time, double play. A 1-5-3 double play turn. Good job there by Simon to start that one. Harms moves up to second, is in scoring position, but there are 2 outs now in the inning. And Tyler Stilson will be the batter. Stilson hitting at .369 on the season. 8 home runs and 43 runs batted in for Stilson. Been another nice year offensively for Tyler, who sees time on the mound as well. In fact, he was one of the 2 starting pitchers when these 2 teams played each other over a month ago now. Stilson went 5 innings against John Carroll in a no decision. The 0-1 and a fake to second. Umpires signal that the pitcher did disengage there before that fake to second. 0-1 count on Stilson. 2 away, runner at second for the Spartans, trying to break through in the first. That one misses up and in, and it's 1-1. Stilson is the junior out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Trying to give the Spartans an early lead. The 1-1. Breaking ball swung on, grounded up towards the middle. Second baseman is there. Throw to first is on target, as making the play was George Harris, and that will retire the side. So the first 2 runners reach for the Spartans, but a double play and a ground out get Simon out of trouble in the first, and we'll move to the bottom of the inning in a scoreless game. 4, 5, and 6 for John Carroll. Frittinger, Dalgenti, and Maley due up when we return. Top of the second inning, Quinn Saunders threw just 6 pitches, 4 in the strike zone to get 3 quick outs in the top half of the inning. We'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for John Carroll. Frittinger to lead things off, and he will take that one down low, ball 1. Sean Frittinger, left-handed hitter, batting at .246 on the season. 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in this season for Frittinger. And that one, a called strike on the inside corner. The 1-1 on the way. And on the outside corner again for a strike. 80-mile-an-hour slider that time catches. And it's a 1-2 count. Left-handed batters against Saunders, hitting just .143 coming into today's game. That's 4 of 28. That one slapped foul down the third baseline. Good job here by Frittinger to work a nice at-bat after a very quick first inning for Saunders. Frittinger Sr. out of Aurora, Ohio. Down low, 2-1. Southeast suburb of Cleveland. Two on the way from Saunders. Frittinger waits. And down and away with another slider. Frittinger not offering it that one, and the count goes full 3-2. Three-two pitch. Swung on, and just getting a piece of it to stay alive there was Frittinger, and we'll get another 3-2 coming up. Three and two, nobody out. Good at bat here from Frittinger. The 8th pitch of the at bat coming up. And it's down low, ball 4. And that is a fantastic at bat from Sean Frittinger, the first base runner of the game for John Carroll. And now Eric Dalgenti will be the batter. Dalgenti hitting at .325 on the year with a home run and 26 runs batted in. By the way, if you're wondering, Frittinger has attempted just 1 stolen base attempt this year. He was unsuccessful. So not a threat to go as that one bunted down the third base side and will roll foul before it's touched by Zach Carinci. Good job by the veteran third baseman. We'll see if the bunt's still on here for Dalgenti. Dalgenti with 2 sacrifice bunts this year and gets that out in front of the plate. Anderson with it has to hurry the throw and rifles one down to third. And I think they're asking for an interference call here. And I think they're going to get it. Let's see. Let's see if they call him back. Hold on. So we're going to see if this is called foul or if it's an interference. I think they called it foul. But the argument there from Anderson was that ball was out in front of the plate, and then Dalgenti, so they'll call that a foul ball, so it's an 0-2 count, nobody out. I think Anderson was a little perturbed that Dalgenti's bat ended up in front of the plate right about where the ball was. The 0-2 is in the dirt for ball 1. The slider there skips into the glove of Anderson. But yeah, Dalgenti laid down the bunt, got the bunt out in front of the plate. But the bat sort of followed it and made that a bit of a trickier play for Anderson, who threw the ball down to first with some purpose. That one's in the dirt, and Anderson can't find it. And moving up to second on a wild pitch is Frittinger. The 12th wild pitch this season from Saunders. That's part of his game. You know, Quinn is going to throw those in the dirt. He'll lie those wild pitches every once in a while and give up that extra base, but it's sort of balanced by A, the fact that he doesn't give up a lot of hits, and B, the fact that he strikes out a lot of batters. He could survive those, especially when he's sharp on the mound. Fastball there, lined into center field. That's a base hit. Scooped up out there by Trout. Here comes his throw. It'll be cut off by Alonso, and it'll be an RBI single for Eric Dalgenti as John Carroll takes the early 1-0 lead. First hit of the game for John Carroll results in a run. And now Connor Maley will be the batter. Maley hitting at .228 on the season. Double play depth in the infield for the Spartans, who will look to turn 2. Dalgenti a threat to steal. He's stolen 10 on 11 attempts this year as the first pitch bunted foul by Maley, and it's an 0-1 count. Carinci not adjusting defense here yet, at least. He's staying back at third base, despite Maley showing bunt on the first pitch of the at-bat. Now he'll sneak in a few steps. Now charges. His throw goes down to first, not in time. Good job there by Saunders to throw over and see if Maley would give anything away. Here's the 0-1 coming from Saunders. Bunted up in the air. Anderson will field it. And that will be the first out of the inning. So Maley pops up the bunt. And there's one gone. Now to bring up Sam D'Amelio. D'Amelio getting just his 6th appearance this season for John Carroll. His first start of the year. D'Amelio 1 for 4 on the season with a walk and a base hit. He's the designated hitter, a junior out of Poolesville, Maryland. First pitch. Fastball misses up high. It's 1-0. Saunders threw just 6 pitches in the first inning. So that one's popped up. He's already 17 deep. This one should get him the second out. It does, as Alonso comes over towards the line and makes the play. And after allowing the RBI single to Dalgenti, with nobody out in the inning, back-to-back pop-ups have Saunders an out away from limiting the Blue Streaks to just the 1 run. Batter at the plate now is Patrick Sherman, the catcher. Sherman 6 for 31 on the year, hitting at 194. He's making his 9th start of the campaign. Yet to drive in a run this year. The runner goes, big-time jump, and Anderson won't even throw it. The pitch misses up high for ball 1, and Dalgenti has his 11th stolen base on 12 attempts this season. And that was one where the jump was just a little too big for Anderson to have any kind of play at second base. Despite the fact that it was a good pitch to throw on, a high fastball. That one misses up high, and it's 2-0 now on Sherman. Jack Harmon, the first baseman, waiting out on deck. Missed inside. 3-0. So after a very sharp first inning of work, Saunders struggling a little bit here in the second, but trying to get through it. He's behind 3-0. And on the outside corner, came with the slider that time, back door that catches for a strike, and it's 3-1. And inside, ball 4. So Sherman draws the walk. So 2 gone and 2 on. And the 9-hitter, Jack Harmon, will step to the plate. Harmon, a .213 hitter on the season. He started all 36 games entering today for John Carroll. A senior out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. First pitch, grounded over to second. Big friendly hop there for Alonso, who will flip over to the second or the shortstop, Arterburn, who covers, and that will end the inning. But John Carroll takes the lead on a RBI single by Eric Dalgenti, and we'll move along into the bottom of the second. It's the Spartans will look to answer the run here. It'll be Alonso, Carinci, and Trout due up when we return. Five, 6, and 7 for the Spartans, who got 2 base runners in the first but couldn't capitalize after a double play and a ground out. Ended the frame without either runner crossing the plate. Franco Alonso to lead things off in the second for Case Western Reserve against Roger Simon in the first pitch right down Main Street for a called strike with the slider, and it's 0-1. Alonso hitting a .355, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in this year. And an excuse me swing, fouls it off the handle, and it's an 0-2 count on Alonso. Alonso followed by Carinci, and then Matt Trout due up. And on the outside corner with the slider for a called strike 3. That might have been a curve there. And either way, I think caught Alonso a bit by surprise. Maybe he was expecting the sharper break of a slider. Got that curve instead that hugged that outer corner. And results in the first out of the innings. So that's now 3 straight sat down by Simon as Zach Carinci steps up and takes a letter-high fastball for a strike, 0-1. Simon, not a hard thrower. Fastball's in the low to mid-80s so far today. But he gets his fair share of outs. Up high with that one, and it's 1-1. Taken up high, 2-1. It's a pretty strong pitching staff for John Carroll between Jake Carroll and Keon Baskerville, who started the 2 games. So that one's fouled away by Carinci, 2-2. Started the 2 games earlier this weekend against Baldwin Wallace. Should serve John Carroll well once they get into the tournament play next weekend. Here's the 2-2. And up high and in, full count 3-2. Good job by Carinci to work a good count here. Carinci hitting at .319 on the season. He's had a great year, really rounded into form as the season has gone on. 3-2 to the graduate student from Twinsburg. Swung on ground ball hit up towards the middle, fielded by the shortstop. Throw is on to first, in time to get the out. Nice play there by Persichetti on a hard hit ground ball up the middle. And there are 2 retired for Matt Trout on what is, for those of you Wordle fans, Trout Day today. I'll leave it at that and hopefully not spoil things too much if you're yet to open up the New York Times game app today. But if takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Trout hitting at 256. And he fouls that one off. You could tell the Spartans have been a little fooled by some of those pitches today from Simon. That was the changeup that missed up and in. And I think Trout was thinking again that there was going to be some break on that. The speed was similar to the curveball, but that one hung up and in. I think Trout started to swing thinking it was going to be the curve. Here's the 0-2. And down and away, that was the slider. So we've seen 4 pitches, I believe, so far from Simon. Curveball, slider, changeup, and fastball. And again, you could see how, when he uses those effectively, he's going to be able to get outs. 1-2 on the way. He came fastball, and it's popped up shallow center. Charging in is the center fielder, and making the catch is Dalgenti for the final out of the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Simon, and we'll move along into the third. 1-0, John Carroll winning. Top of the order for the Blue Streaks. Harris, Persichetti, and Glossa due up when we return. Top of the order in the third for the Blue Streaks, who lead 1-0 over the Spartans as we begin the frame. Run on 2 hits for John Carroll. That coming, pardon me, run on 1 hit for John Carroll, that coming last inning. Harris grounded out to first base his first time up. And Saunders will step off. Now the clock resets. He'll set on the mound, working from the stretch in the third base side of the rubber as Harris offers. That one comes up empty, and it's an 0-1 count. Harris, Persichetti, and Glossa, same 3 that Saunders sat down on 6 pitches in the first inning before giving up the run in the second. Swing and a miss. There's that good slider to the lefty, 0-2. Swing and a miss. And strike 3, and down on 3 pitches is Harris. And there's one gone. So I bring up Michael Persichetti, who flew out to right in his first at bat, and he takes the first pitch, backdoor slider for a called strike, 0-1. I think you're seeing today that this is a fun one to watch between the two pitchers because it's really two styles at work here. Another one fouled away there. You've got Quinn Saunders, who's going to basically come at you with two pitches, a high-velocity fastball and a high-velocity slider with pretty good movement on it from the left-handed side. And then the other side of the mound, you've got Roger Simon, who really doesn't have a lot of velocity, but is going to throw four pitches at you as that one misses down low. Again, mentioned before, he's mixed up pretty well with the fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. And so two pitchers who both do a good job getting outs, but do it in two very different ways. 1-2 offering. And did he go around? They'll check in the field. No, says the umpire. That is Ken Krislovic. And the count evens up 2-2 on Persichetti. You saw Persichetti swing over the top of a slider. Do you try to come to that again here if you're Saunders, or mix it up with the fastball? 2-2 on the way. And he does come with the slider down low, but it misses, and it's 3-2. You know, that's the pitch where if you're Saunders, you've got to try to get more competitive with that pitch. Because when you miss with that one so badly, it weakens your next offering. 3-2 on the way. Ground ball hit towards short. Arterburn has to field it on a big hop. Throw to first in time to get Persichetti, though, for the out. And you know, this is what we were talking about with his start against NYU, where, again, Saunders was brilliant in that one. But the key for Saunders is getting competitive with those pitches when he's ahead in the count. Because if you could throw those with a little more purpose, it helps to reinforce your pitches. You don't have to throw that 2-2 slider for a strike, as that one missed in the dirt. But if you miss with it just below the strike zone, even if the batter's more likely to swing and miss at it, but B, even if you do miss and the batter takes it, it makes that next pitch, whatever it is, a little bit more effective. That one missed a little inside, and it's 2-0 on Glosso, flew out to center field in his first trip to the plate. Ground ball to short again. Arterburn there. And that's the third out of the inning. So another 1-2-3 trip through the top of the order for Quinn Saunders. And we'll move along into the bottom of the third. The Spartans trailing 1-0, 8-9-1 due up. And Draco, Arterburn, and Anderson. The three A's due up back-to-back when we return. Logan Andraco leading things off here for the Spartans, who trail 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the third. Guess you could refer to this as the rubber game of the three between the teams this year. After they split a doubleheader in University Heights back on March 23rd. First pitch called strike to Logan Andraco, who's hitting at .294 on the year. It's been a little bit of a down season for Logan, who's hoping to heat up towards the end of the campaign. In the dirt, ball 1-1. Logan has now found himself in the mix of what appears to be a three-way platoon for 2 spots in the outfield. Taken inside, 2-1 between Andreyko, Matt Trout, and Jay Smith. Smith getting the day off today after the game-winning base hit against Baldwin Wallace. That ball hit in the air hard, but right at the center fielder, Dow Genti, who will pull it in. 99 off the bat there from Andreyko. But just to the wrong spot of the field, and there's one away. So I'll bring up Nate Arterburn, a 267 hitter now on the season. Nate, along with Tyler Stilson, Nick Harms, and Jack Anderson, the 4 players who have started all 40 regular season games now for the Spartans. Takes that one up high, ball 1, 76-mile-an-hour slider. Here's the 1-0 on the way. Swung on hard, hit down that line, but foul. The fastball caught a little too much of the plate. And the count evens 1-1 as Arterburn hit it hard, but was a little out in front of it. One pitch. That ball hit hard to left. And an easy play out there for the left fielder Glossa, despite a 96-mile-an-hour hit off the bat. So another hard hit baseball, but just right at someone. We've seen 2 of those this inning. That's now 7 straight retired by Simon, who has not given up a hit since the single by Jack Anderson to start the game. Anderson 1 for 1, hitting at .369 on the season now. Only hit of the game so far for the Spartans, and he takes the first pitch slider for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Anderson. Anderson got ahead in the count 2-0 his first time up before grounding a ball just past a diving attempt by the third baseman Maley. The 0-1 and a swing and a miss tied him up with a fastball. Good location there, up and in. And again, even though that pitch is not a super high velocity pitch, that's great location there to get it up and in on Anderson. And now a chance for Simon to really throw whatever he wants there. Starts him with the curve, and it misses down and away for ball 1-1-2. See if he tempts fate here and comes back up and in with another fastball to Anderson. Or if he continues to try to work it down and away, the 1-2. And a called strike 3, fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Anderson arguing it was outside, but will not get any justice for that one. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Simon, who has sat down 8 straight batters. And we'll move into the 4th in a 1-0 game. Frittinger, Dalgenti, and Maley due up for John Carroll, leading 1-0 when we come back. Quinn Saunders has allowed just one hit today, but it was costly. An RBI single back in the second. Sean Frittinger to lead things off here. 4, 5, and 6 due up this inning for John Carroll with that 1-0 lead. Frittinger scored the only run of the game so far. Had a great at-bat against Saunders to lead off the second. Ended up drawing a walk and coming around to score the first and only run so far of the game. That time he takes the slider on the outside corner from Saunders for a called strike, and it's 0-1. And that time an inside slider misses, and the count evens 1-1. For Frittinger, it was his 14th walk of the season through 23 games played. But again, that at-bat sort of set the tone for that second inning. That one grounded hard towards first and through for a base hit. Just past a diving attempt from Stilson. And Frittinger is on for the second time today. That's just the second hit allowed by Saunders. First pitch, bunted, third base side. Carinci with it, has the throw to first, and Dalgenti is retired on a sacrifice bunt. So Dalgenti, who had an RBI single his first time up, sacrifices himself here. Frittinger moves into scoring position with one away. And the batter now will be Connor Maley. Maley popped up a bunt on a sacrifice attempt his first time up. He's now hitting a .227 this year. That one hit back to short. Charging his Arterburn. Throw on the run in time to get the out. Moving up on the play is Frittinger. And he'll be at third now with two away for Sam D'Amelio. D'Amelio popped up to second base in his first at-bat. Now 1 for 5 on the season, hitting at .200. And on the outside corner, called strike to start the at-bat against D'Amelio. That was, I believe, a changeup there from Saunders. Was that 85 miles? That was his fastball. I'm sorry. Yep, fastball at 85. A little extra spin on his. That ball hit hard but foul. That was a slider down and in. Runner at third, two away, the 0-2 on the way. Saunders from the stretch. And delivers. And just off that outside corner with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Boy, you know Jack Anderson is sitting there behind the plate right now saying, hey, isn't that pretty close to that location that I got called out for a third strike on last inning? 1-2 on the way now from Saunders. That went well up high, 2-2. Fastball got away from him there. Two and two, count is even, two away. Top of the fourth inning, John Carroll leading 1-0. And another one that just misses up and out. That time the backdoor slider, and it's 3-2. So full count now on D'Amelio. With two away and a runner at third, this will be the 52nd pitch of the game from Saunders. And it's line foul. And the count stays at 3-2. Saunders coming with a 3-2 slider that might have caught a little bit more of the plate than he had hoped. Well, got that down in that down inside corner pretty good. Three and two count, two away. Here's the pitch from Saunders. And it's on the outside corner. Backdoor slider gets him looking for strike three. That is the second strikeout of the game for Saunders, and that will leave the runner stranded at third here in the fourth. No runs on a hit for John Carroll. We'll go to the bottom of the inning, and the Spartans will send their 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate. Harms, Camphausen, and Stilson as the Spartans trail by 1-0 when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for John Carroll will be the sophomore out of Copley, Walsh Jesuit High School product, Kevin Holland. 6-foot-tall lefty to come in and face the Spartans here. It'll be Nick Harms, and then a couple tough righties in a row with Stilson, or Camphausen, Stilson, Alonzo, Carinci, Trout. So we'll see what happens, or how Holland fares here. He's been good this year. 5 appearances this season for Holland. No record and a 2.70 ERA through 10 innings of work. He's allowed just 8 hits at 216 opponent's average. He has struck out 6 and walked 3 this year. Nick Harms will be the batter. Harms was hit by a pitch his first time up. Harms this season against lefties is actually hitting a little better against lefties than righties. He's hitting at .414. Down and away, ball 1. So the day is done for Roger Simon, who delivered 3 shutout innings. Turns it over to Holland. Harms takes a big curveball, 64 on that one. And he takes it for a called strike, 1-1. Harms fouls that one back, and it's a 1-2 count. It's a 78-mile-an-hour fastball, I believe, there from Holland, who I think the probably falls under the category of crafty left-handed pitcher. There's that breaking ball again. I think that's I think that's just a slow curve there. And a swing and a miss, and that pitch gets Harms swinging. So that one a little faster at 71. That was the change up there, and Harms is down swinging. So now Dane Camphausen, who grounded into a 1-5-3 double play his first time up, will be the batter. Camphausen hitting at .379. First pitch on the way to Camphausen, and it's a fastball that handcuffs him for a called strike, 0-1. Well, you've got to be careful here if you're Holland, throwing that slow curve to Camphausen, who, if he makes contact with it, it's going to go a long way. The 0-1, and another one down low, 1-1. .69-mile-an-hour slider, I believe. Here's the 1-1. Camphausen hits it hard but foul down the third baseline, and he's now behind in the count 1-2. One away here in the fourth, 1-0, John Carroll leading. Holland comes set on the hill, working from the stretch with the bases empty. Delivers the 1-2 off the plate for a ball. Changeup that missed that time, 2-2. Changeup coming in about 71 miles an hour. Gotta imagine you have to pair that with a fastball here on that outside corner. 2-2. And that ball hit hard into left field, and it's a base hit for Camphausen. 112 off the bat. So Camphausen pulling one hard and into left field, and the Spartans have their second hit of the game. So this is Tyler Stilson who skies the first pitch into right. And along the line, making the catch in right field is Frittinger. And Stilson is retired. So 2 gone. And now Franco Alonso will be the batter with Camphausen still at first and 2 away. First pitch to Alonso. And the 67-mile-an-hour slider on the outside corner for a strike 0-1. Alonso struck out looking in his first at bat. Fastball misses down low at 81, and it's 1-1. That one stayed up high, 2-1. Holland trying to get through the 4th inning unscored upon here, preserve a 1-0 lead. 2-1 to Alonso. Hitting at .352 this season. Swings and hits that one hard but foul down the third base line. 2-2. Alonso, 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He has 10 doubles on the year. The Pasadena, California product in his second season with the Spartans after playing his undergraduate career at Cornell. Hits that hard down the line in right. That's a fair ball. Camphausen will dig for third. Alonso heading for second. The throw not in time and gets away. Here comes Camphausen, and he will score. Alonso moves up to third, and that'll even it up. A double for Alonso. And an error allowing Camphausen to score, and it's now 1-1. So runner on third now, the potential go-ahead run for the Spartans. And Zach Carinci a chance to drive in Alonso with 2 away. So we've got a brand new ball game here in the 4th. As the breaking pitch misses outside. And it's 1-0. 2 hits in the inning for the Spartans, who have 3 in the game. And that one lined, and that's down for a base hit. And Zach Carinci with an RBI single. And the Spartans take their first lead of the game. It's now 2-1. So the Spartans rallying with 2 outs here in the inning. And now Matt Trout can keep it going. Trout 0 for 1, a fly out to center field in his first at bat. And he takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. And popped up. Shallow right in foul territory, and that will land despite an attempt by the second baseman to get over there, George Harris. And it lands foul, so a strike there. 1-1 the count. Well, Holland certainly looked like he had a chance to get through this inning with a runner at first. And 2 away. But back-to-back 2-out hits, a double for Alonso and a single for Carinci have scored 2 runs. Spartans trying to continue to add on here as Trout awaits the pitch, but Holland throws down to first and Carinci gets back. Throw over to first again, not in time. Quick move to first there by Holland. Something to watch out for here. To the plate, breaking ball. That missed a little inside, not by much with the slider, and it's 2-1. Maybe more of like a sweeper, would you guys call that? I'm looking over here at our stat crew, so to speak, but our chiefs of data analytics, what's the official title? Is that one's grounded through, but Sela and Sam, who normally give me funny looks when I identify a pitch weirdly, and I think we're trying to figure out what Holland is throwing because, frankly, everything is just a little slower for him. Now that fastball velocity has ticked up a little bit into the upper 70s, but we saw him throwing fastballs in the low and mid-70s maybe. So he's, again, a little bit of a crafty lefty would be the way I would describe it. So 2 on now, and now Logan Andreyko, who hit a hard liner to center field for an out his first time up, will be the batter here. And he takes that one up and in. That 64-mile-an-hour slider that didn't really break. The 1-0. Ground ball over to second base. Harris is there, but it bounces off of him and into center field. Coming in to score is Carinci. And everyone will move up, and then the throw almost gets away, if not for a nice play by Harris, the second baseman, to back up there. That'll be an error, allowing Andreyko to reach. And it'll bring across another run. And that'll bring up Nate Arterburn and a chance to really extend this lead for the Spartans. With 2 in scoring position, 2 away, and that'll lead to a meeting on the mound here. We may get a pitching change here. I believe that is the head coach for the Blue Streaks, Bobby Bell, who has come out to have a talk with his pitcher. And indeed, he will make the call of the bullpen. So pitching change for John Carroll with 2 in scoring position and 2 away for the Spartans. It's now 3-1 Case Western Reserve. Tell you about the new pitcher coming in when we return. New pitcher on the mound for John Carroll will be Noah Trojanowski. Trojanowski, who wears number 61, is a first year out of Erie, Pennsylvania, Mercyhurst Prep High School, 6'10" righty. And you can see by that delivery, he is, I don't know if you want to call that a submariner, sidearmer, whatever it is. It's an unconventional delivery. But we'll see if he could get a couple of outs here with, well, one out here to end this inning with Nate Arterburn, who lined out hard to left his first time up stepping to the plate. Arterburn now hitting at 265 on the year. 2 outs in the inning, 3 across already for the Spartans as Trojanowski misses down and out, ball 1. On the season, Trojanowski, 9 appearances, 1-0 with a 1.29 ERA. He's gone 7 innings, given up just 7 hits for a 259 average, struck out 6 and walked 4. That one hangs on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 1-1. You'll see a lot of times these sidearm pitchers throw that two-seamer that gets that break back over the outside corner, and then pair that with whether you want to call it a sweeper or curveball or a slider. That one hit in the air deep down the line and left, but foul. And Arterburn turned on that one, a 71-mile-an-hour slider on the inside corner. Hit it hard off the bat, but will have not much to show for it as the count goes to 1-2. Big out here for Trojanowski after he comes into the game. See if he can get it. Here's the 1-2 to Arterburn. And it's the fastball down low. 82-mile-an-hour fastball brings the count to 2-2. You see less of the submarine pitchers at the Division III level than you did a couple years ago. 2-2 on the way, well outside ball 3. There's a big movement for a lot of pitchers who were not finding the velocity throwing traditionally to revamp their delivery and adopt that submarine motion, which, while may not get you more velocity, it tends to get the ball on the hitter quicker. 3-2. Swung on and fouled off as Arterburn stays alive. Taking the worst of that foul ball was the catcher, Patrick Sherman, who will have to shake that one off. We'll see what that caught as the trainer and head coach Bobby Bell. Looks like it got him right on the top of the knee. Yeah, there he's kind of indicating, Sherman is indicating that I think it came up, it caught him right at the edge of where that padding is and just kind of get you on that funny bone a little bit. So he'll be fine, just needs to, I think he'll be fine, just needs to get the blood flowing again, so to speak. So 3-2 count on Arterburn when we get going again here. 3-2, 2 away. Trojanowski on the hill. Here's his 3-2 offering. And the fastball misses inside, ball 4. And so that will load the bases with 2 away for Jack Anderson, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout looking. Anderson this season 2 for 5 with the bases loaded, batting at .400. Overall on the year, a .366 hitter. Got called out on strikes his last time up when he took a pitch off that outside corner. And knowing Jack, if he gets one in that outside corner, he'll be swinging first pitch here. That one misses down and away. But, you know, Jack, when Jack gets angry like that or, you know, a little bit upset at a call, he tends to approach the next at-bat with a little bit of purpose as the 1-0 is on the way. That one's well outside, goes all the way to the backstop, charging home and scoring safely is Matt Trout on the wild pitch. So the Spartans get another one across. It's now 4-1. Second and third now with 2 away. Jack singled on a 2-0 pitch back in the first inning, and I'm sure he'll have the green light here to swing again 2-0 if he gets something over the meat of the plate. That one misses outside 3-0. With this kind of delivery, you don't want to face a lefty who's as good of a hitter as Nick Harms is with the bases loaded. I believe if you're Trojanowski, it's probably not a great matchup for him. And I think Anderson, knowing that, was probably a little more patient with that 3-0 pitch than we always see him as he takes that down Main Street for a called strike. I think Jack knows that this will be a good matchup for Harms if he could get on base here. 3-1, and a swing and a miss, 3-2. So full count, 2 away, second and third for the Spartans, who've scored 4 in the fourth to take the lead. Here's the 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and that will bring Nick Harms to the plate. And again, this should be a favorable matchup for Harms with a side armor. Harms should get a really nice look at that pitch. And again, this is a dangerous spot if you are a Trojanowski here with Harms coming to the plate. A .390 hitter on the season with 11 home runs and 47 runs batted in. Harms has a chance to blow this game wide open with one swing. First pitch, Harms skyrockets it high in the air up the elevator chute. Who's going to call it? Third baseman Bailey there, and it drops in for a base hit. No one called anybody there. No error on the play. It's an infield single for Harms. 2 runs coming to score on it as Arterburn and Andraco both cross the plate, and it's 6-1. Anderson gets all the way to third, and a good break there for the Spartans. And that might be it here for Trojanowski with Dane Camphausen coming up. So again, nobody called that one. A ball that probably should have been caught, but also an absolutely towering fly ball there for Harms, who first pitch swinging pops one sky high, and we'll get a pitching change here again for John Carroll. So 6 across this inning for the Spartans. Looking to add on more. It'll be Dane Camphausen coming up to face the new pitcher when we return. Dane Camphausen 1 for 2 with a single and a ground ball double play, making his third appearance now in as many games against the Spartans this season as Sean Connolly. He picked up the win in the 4-3 John Carroll victory as he gets a swing and a miss from Camphausen 0-1. Also threw an inning in the second game, gave up 2 runs on a hit. Swing and a miss again there from Camphausen. 74-mile-an-hour slider. And the count now 0-2 on Dane with runners on the corners and 2 away here in the fourth. 6 runs across already for the Spartans, who have taken control of this one with the big inning. Runner goes. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 at the ball in the dirt. Camphausen will run down to first. The throw gets him there. And that will end the inning, but the Spartans score 6 runs on 5 hits and take advantage of a pair of errors in the frame. And we'll move along into the fifth. 6-1 Spartans when we come back. Welcome back again as Case Western Reserve leading 6-1 now after a 6-run inning. Over John Carroll, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters Sherman, Harmon, and Harris due up to face Quinn Saunders, who had it sit for a long time after a long inning for the Spartans in the bottom of the fourth. Saunders needs 3 more outs to be on the right side of the decision here and make it an official game should we get any rain. Again, one of those days where there appears to be a bit of a window, but you really don't know how quickly that window can close. So that misses down low for a ball, 2-1. Another one down low with the fastball. 3-1 on Sherman. Well, it's one of those innings, too, if you're Saunders here, you want to try to have that shutout inning after your bats really went to work in the bottom half of the fourth. You'd love to get him back up here quickly. Taking all the way there was Sherman, and he takes a called strike, 3-2. That was a slider. And again, Saunders not afraid to throw that slider. We've seen that today in a 3-ball count. In fact, he almost leans on that slider more than the fastball at this point. And there is the slider. It dips just below the strike zone as he gets Sherman to swing over the top of it for the out. One away here, 3rd strikeout of the game for Saunders, and that will bring up the 9-hitter, Jack Harmon, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out his first time up. Saunders is settled in nicely now. Outside corner, backdoor slider, and it's 0-1. Misses away, 1-1. Saunders approach his last few games really leaning heavily on that slider. It's a bit of an adjustment for him. Swing and a miss. There's that slider again. And you know, he's not just leaning on the slider as a strikeout pitch. He's leaning on it to get ahead in the count early. Here's his 1-2. Fouled back. Another backdoor slider there. I don't know that he's thrown a fastball in this at bat. I think it's been all sliders so far. It has been, yep. Second pitch was a fastball. There we go. But that's pretty much been the case for Saunders today. A lot of breaking balls. Another slider. That one stays outside, 2-2. Does he try to go to the fastball here? Jam Harmon with something up and in maybe. 2-2 on the way. And it's fouled back. That was the fastball. Thomas Bates has come out on deck to pinch hit for Harris, who's due up next. As that fastball in the dirt, 3-2. Pardon me, slider in the dirt there, 3-2. Again, typically 3-2 would be a fastball count, but we've seen Saunders already on 3-ball counts throw a lot of sliders today, so wouldn't be shocked to see one here, or he could come with the fastball. And that one is in there, a called strike 3. The slider caught the upper outer corner of the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 5th. That's 3 straight strikeouts from Saunders, going back to the final out of the 4th. He retires the 8 and 9 hitters, and now we'll get a pinch hitter stepping to the plate here for George Harris. This will be Thomas Bates who stands in. First pitch on the way. Down low, ball 1. Bates hitting 150 on the season. There's the fastball, swing and a miss, 1-1. Quinn Saunders, we have seen the last few starts. I'd like to say he's back to the form he was at last year, but frankly, I think he's more effective in the last few starts than we saw him last year. 2-1 on the way. Outside corner, called strike, 2-2, slider that time. And why do I say he's more effective? Well, he's shown the ability to pitch deeper into games the last few. He's pitching a little bit more to contact. Head of the count, 2-2. And that's on the outside corner with the slider, called strike 3. Quinn Saunders strikes out the side in the 5th. 4 straight strikeouts for Saunders. Yes, the man I just said that's pitching more to contact recently, but he strikes out the side in the 5th, and we'll move to the bottom of the inning with the Spartans leading. It is 6-1. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back once again as Tyler Stilson leading off the inning. First pitch swinging, hits that one deep towards left field, back at the wall, and it's off the warning track. Stilson turns the corner at first. He'll pull into second. And as the rain begins to fall here at Nobby's ballpark, Tyler Stilson doubles. And the Spartans have a leadoff hit. Some defensive changes this inning for John Carroll. Staying in the game and playing second base is Thomas Bates. Taking over at first base is Eric Crowell. Taking over in center field is Jalen Jackson. We believe it's number 9, Dominic Trevisano, who is behind home plate as that one's down low for a ball. 1-0 to Franco Alonso. Sean Connolly still on the mound after getting the final out of the fourth. That one hit hard up the middle by Alonso and through for a base hit. Stilson will round the corner at third. He comes home without a throw. And Alonso, as the ball gets into no man's land, will dash down to second, and he's safe. So that'll be an error that allows Alonso to move up. And we'll bring Zach Carinci to the plate. It's now 7-1. 8th hit of the game for the Spartans. And Carinci, who had an RBI single his last time up, takes that for a called strike, 0-1. That ball hit into right, and it drops in for a base hit and gets past the right fielder. And that'll allow everyone to move up an extra base as well. So an RBI single for Zach Carinci. To the fourth error already today for John Carroll, and now another runner in scoring position with Carinci. And Matt Trout, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored, will be the hitter. Takes the first pitch outside on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. So the Spartans now leading 8-1. Ground ball hit towards the middle of the field, gloved by Persichetti. The throw is just ahead of Trout to get him for the out. Moving up to third is Carinci. Trout, who has great speed on the base pass, almost able to beat that out. But does get called out for the first out of the inning. And so there's one gone now for Logan Andraco, who has reached base on an error and flown out to center field today. First pitch, and he swings, turns on the inside slider and fouls it off, 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. Two and one. Popped up, foul territory, and that one will get out of play. Ground ball to second. Scoop there. Throw goes to first. In time to get the out. A chance there for Bates to get that one. Run comes in. It's an RBI for Logan Andraco as Carinci scores, and it's now 9-1. And the batter now is Nate Arterburn, who has walked and flown out, but he has hit the ball hard a few times today. Takes a called strike there, and it's 0-1. Hitting at 265 on the year. 1-1 is that one taken down low. See if Arterburn can keep the inning going. Hitting here with the bases empty and 2 away. 3 more runs across here in the 5th for the Spartans, who now lead 9-1. Good slider there from Connolly. Picture perfect. Got that to break right off the outside corner. Got Arterburn reaching, and I got to imagine ahead in the count 1-2, we're going to see a steady diet of those sliders. There it is again. Swung on and foul tip. Just getting a piece of it there is Arterburn. But yeah, that's going to be Connolly's out pitch, and I think if you're Arterburn right now, you've got to protect that outside corner. You got to be looking outside corner with 2 strikes here. That one was a fastball called a strike. Looked like it was a little outside, but a called strike 3, and that ends the inning. But the Spartans add on 3 more runs as they take advantage of 2 John Carroll errors. 3 hits as well for the Spartans, who lead 9-1 as we move into the 6th. Persichetti, Glossa, and Frittinger due up when we return. Welcome back as the Spartans will enter the 6th inning leading 9-1. Jay Smith taking over in left field for Logan Andraco. Smith, the hero of the game on Tuesday with the game-winning base hit in the bottom of the 9th. Walk-off single for the Spartans in a 10-9 win. The Spartans in that game trailed 9-2 at one point. Came back to beat Baldwin Wallace 10-9. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Persichetti, Glossa, and Frittinger to face Quinn Saunders. Saunders has currently held the top 3 in the batting order for John Carroll. Hitless in this one. They're combined 0 for 7, including Persichetti, who's 0 for 2. Takes that pitch outside for ball 1. 72 pitches for Saunders to start the inning. Persichetti awaits the 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. After John Carroll led 1-0 for the majority of the early part of this game, the Spartans have broken this one open over the last 2 innings. They lead 9-1. Saunders behind Persichetti here, 3-0. Slider on the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. Fouled back. Full count 3-2. Good job by Saunders to battle back in this one. Three-two pitch. Hard hit ball through the right side for a base hit. So Persichetti on 3-2, protecting that outside corner, sends the slider the opposite way. Good piece of hitting there by Persichetti. And the leadoff man is on. For the Blue Streaks here with an 8-run deficit to try to make up, as Ethan Glossa will be the hitter, and a pinch runner out there will be number 82, Dylan Sowers. So Sowers to pinch hit for Persichetti. Glossa, who is 0 for 2 in the game, swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. That's just the third hit, by the way, allowed today by Saunders. He's been sharp again. That pitch just a little outside with the fastball, 1-1. In the air, right field. Harms is there. One gone as he puts that away for the out. Ball one. Rain continues to fall here. Again, we do have an official game. Should play need to be stopped, as that one's fouled off. We are probably going to be battling through some kind of rain for the majority of the rest of this game. It doesn't look like it's going to get any better as the day goes on. I think we're looking at best case scenario, some light rain for the rest of the day today. Oliver Miller has begun to throw in the bullpen for the Spartans. Soft tossing now. There's another pitcher up in the pen as well. Might be Archer Stankowski. No, that's going to be Charlie Griffith who's throwing out there. So Griffith, another lefty for the Spartans, warming up. Called strike, fastball at the knees, and it's 1-2. Griffith pitched very well against John Carroll the last time out, so we'll see if he gets another chance here today. Inside corner with that one, a called strike 3. He came with the slider and came on the inside corner with it, and all Frittinger could do was shake his head. And so that will bring up for his first bat of the game, Jalen Jackson, who came in last inning as a replacement in center field. Jackson, I believe, getting his first at bat of the season. Takes that pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Indeed he is. At least according to my papers. Jackson, a first year from Bowie, Maryland, DeMatha Catholic High School. So again, I believe this is the collegiate debut of Jalen Jackson. Comes in the final regular season game for John Carroll. Pitches in the dirt. Gets away, but not far enough for Sowers to move up. 2 away, runner at first. Leadoff single by Persichetti. Sowers, who pinch ran for him, now standing at short. Jalen Jackson, with his first collegiate appearance, fouling that one back, and it's 2-1. inside, 3-1. Up high, ball 4. So Jackson draws the walk, and that will bring Connor Maley to the plate. Well, Maley has had a bit of a rocky day at third base today, and hoping to get a hit here to maybe turn the tide a bit. He's 0 for 2 at the plate, a pop out and a ground out. First pitch on the way. Takes it inside for a ball, 1-0. This might be it here for Saunders. As his 1-0 pitch. Fastball stays up high, 2-0. He's now up to 92 pitches on the day as he tries to fight his way through the 6th. Giving up a single and a walk this inning. 2-1 for John Carroll with 2 away. Meeting on the mound here as Jack Anderson comes out, maybe as much as anything to try to buy a little extra time for the bullpen, as this might be Saunders' last batter regardless. Double barrel action now in the Spartans bullpen with Miller and Griffith both warming up. Two and 0 the count. 2 away. After the meeting, Quinn sets and delivers. There's the slider, catches the upper inside corner, called strike 2-1. Quinn Saunders trying to give the Spartans one more out here. Send it to the bottom of the 6th with an 8-run lead. 2-1. Foul back, 2-2. Nice block there by Jack Anderson. Full count, 3-2. Three and two away. Runners will get the early start here. A ball hit into the gap could score 2 with Maley at the plate. Payoff pitch on the way. The runners will get their start. And it's swung on, grounded towards short. Going to be a tough play for Arterburn, who has to throw on the run. Gets it there in time for the out. Just a step ahead of Maley, and that will end the inning. So 2 left stranded for John Carroll. It's a 9-1 Spartans lead when we return. Spartans have scored 9 runs over the last 2 innings and will send the top of the order to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th with a 9-1 lead. Defensive changes for John Carroll, as taking over at shortstop will be Sowers, who came in the game as a pinch runner last inning. The new third baseman is Jack Biter, and the new pitcher will be Owen Gerba, the lefty. Gerba, making his second appearance this season against the Spartans, gave up a run on 2 walks, did not allow a hit, struck out 2 in his inning of work in the 4-3 John Carroll win back in March. A left-hand side armor slings it into Anderson for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Gerba on the season 1-0 with a 4.11 ERA. Misses outside to Anderson. It's 1-1. Jack 1 for 2, a single, a strikeout, looking at a walk. The single was his 290th career base hit. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Gerba making his 14th appearance this season. That leads all pitchers for John Carroll. 15 1/3 innings of work. He's given up just 10 hits for a 185 average, 15 strikeouts, 13 walks. That one missed outside, 2-2. And outside again, full count, 3-2 on Jack Anderson. So Gerba works a full count against Anderson here to lead off the 6th. And it misses down and in, ball 4. So Jack Anderson draws a walk for his second straight plate appearance. And the Spartans have the leadoff man on here for Nick Harms. So mentioned earlier when Nick had his last at bat, which he ended up popping it up sky high in the infield. It ended up being a base hit for Harms that scored a pair of runs. He had a good matchup against the side-arming righty. This is going to be a tough one for Harms to get a good look at here against the lefty Gerba. Anderson holds it first as Harms takes that outside. Typically, the side armors have a little bit of trouble holding on base runners. They're a little bit longer to the plate, and so it might be an opportunity here for Anderson to attempt to steal. He's not going on that pitch, as working quickly there was Gerba, but sails it up high to Harms, and it's 2-0. Spartans are yet to attempt a stolen base in this game after, again, 39 stolen bases on as many attempts in their last 9. That one misses outside, 3-0, and Gerba in danger of walking his second straight hitter with Dane Camphausen looming on deck. And we mentioned that it's a tough matchup for Harms, but it'll be a favorable one for Camphausen against the side-arming lefty. 3-0 on the way to Nick Harms here with nobody out in the 6th. Here's the pitch. And Harms taking all the way, takes a called strike, 3-1. Again, Harms has the green light, 3-0. But you got to imagine that Nick, who's a smart baseball player, knows that when Dane behind him is as hot as he is, he can be a little bit more patient with that 3-0 pitch, really wait for something, especially against a pitcher they may not be seeing the ball great against. Swing and a miss there on a 74-mile-an-hour changeup maybe. That might just be his fastball, just might be at that velocity. And again, you can throw it that speed and be effective when you've got that arm delivery here. 3-2 coming from Gerba with a runner on and nobody out. Anderson takes off on the pitch, and it's a called strike 3. I thought that one missed well low. Might have clipped that outside corner, according to TrackMan. Not out of the realm of stuff that's been called a strike. And so that'll be strike 3 as Harms is down looking. So Gerba gets the strikeout. Moving up to second on the stolen base is Jack Anderson. So that is the 40th consecutive successful stolen base attempt for the Spartans. For Anderson, it's his 16th stolen base of the season. As Camphausen takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Dane 1 for 3 in the game. Fouls that one back, and the count goes to 0-2. Dane has had 3 straight 2-home run games entering play today. So far, John Carroll has kept him in the yard. RBI opportunity here for Camphausen, who leads all Spartan players with 54 runs batted in this season. Long pause, now to the plate, and a swing and a miss. Foul tipped it, actually, into the catcher's glove. Either way, that'll be strike 3, and Camphausen down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gerba, who can now get out of this inning, but another tough hitter coming to the plate to face him, and Tyler Stilson, who is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored last inning. Stilson 8 for 25 against lefties entering today's game. That one slingshotted in for a called strike to Stilson, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 offering. Gerba delivers. Foul back by Stilson, 0-2. And Gerba, after the leadoff walk, can get out of this inning with no damage done with one more strike. 0-2 on the way to Stilson. Gerba sets on the hill and delivers. Stilson just underneath it, fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Another one foul back. Same pitch, same result. Stilson just not quite able to drive that one, even though he seemed on it. Oh, 0-2 pitch coming up. That one lined over to second, fielded on a hop by the second baseman. Throw to first to step ahead of Stilson for the out. And that will end the inning. So the Spartans held off the board, leave one man stranded, and we'll move to the 7th. It's 9-1 Case Western Reserve when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is the first-year righty Oliver Miller, who delivers a first-pitch strike to Sam D'Amelio. Pardon me, first-pitch ball, 1-0. That one lined into left field, and it's a base hit for D'Amelio. He'll turn the corner at first, head for second. The throw comes in, and it's in plenty of time. A perfect throw from Jay Smith for the outfield assist, and D'Amelio, who hit that one well, but Smith was able to get to it and throw him out. Alonso applied the tag, and that one wasn't even close. Just a well-executed play by the Spartans for the first out of the inning. So that's the fourth hit of the game for John Carroll, but it turns into an out. Bases empty, one away now. And the batter will be the catcher. That is Dominic Trevisano, who takes that up high for a ball, 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Trevisano out of Aurora High School. One of a couple of Aurora players on this team. Another one misses down low for Miller, and it's 3-0. Miller in his first year out of Lorton, Virginia, St. Stephen's and St. Agnes High School. High school teammates with Josiah Harris. That one misses inside for ball 4, so Miller gives up the walk. On the season, Miller 3-1 through 12 appearances, all in relief. He has a 4.13 ERA. In his 24 innings of work, he struck out 27, walked 14. Opponents hitting just .239 against him. Skies have brightened a little bit here at Nobby's Ballpark. As the batter at the plate, getting his first bat of the game here, is Eric Crowell. Crowell, number 44, junior out of Pittsford, New York, 6'4". Looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat on the year. So John Carroll's getting some of their younger players into a game that probably, at least for the Blue Streaks, has little effect on their postseason hopes. Ground ball hit towards second. See if the Spartans can turn to. Alonso has it. He'll make the smart play and get the shore out at first base, retiring Crowell. And with an 8-run lead, happy to let Trevisano move up the 90 feet in exchange for the out. So 2 gone now. And the batter now will be Thomas Bates, who will get his second plate appearance of the day. Struck out looking his first time up. John Carroll coming into the game 85th in the latest NPI rankings. That was updated as of yesterday, and that is probably, well, I can tell you it is. There's no way they can make up enough ground in the NPI to qualify as an at-large team. Ground ball over to first base. Bates will ground out as it's flipped to the covering pitcher, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on. We'll talk a little bit more about the NPI. In fact, we'll stay with you here in between innings, chat about NPI a little bit. So, you know, for those of you who may not be familiar, this is the first year the NCAA has switched to this computerized ranking system that is basically being used for to determine NCAA selections. In fact, we probably will take a quick break here with some defensive changes that we want to settle in. We'll come back, talk a little NPI with you during the next inning. Again, 9-1, Spartans leading. We'll be back in just a minute. Few more defensive changes here for John Carroll, including a new pitcher on the mound. Taking over at second base is Ryan Funderburg. As that pitch swung on by Franco Alonso, hit out to right field, circling and making the catch out in right is the new right fielder, Charles Bernotis. And Franco Alonso retired for the first out of the inning. Taking over in left field is Carson Balfour. We have a new, I think that's everyone. We have a new pitcher too, I should say. And that, as Zach Currency takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. New pitcher on the mound is number 28, Luis Arriola. 2-0. Says on the pronunciation guide I'm supposed to roll the R in Arriola. I can't do that without. I'm sorry to the Arriola family. I am not going to be able to roll my R. I was bad at it in high school Spanish, and I haven't gotten any better in the last 20 years. That one grounded out to short. So I apologize in advance for if I am mispronouncing the name. Arriola is yet to get a win or a loss this season. He's making his 5th appearance of the year. An ERA of 9 through 4 innings of work. He's given up 10 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He's walked 5, struck out 3. And a swing and a miss there for Matt Trout, 0-1 the count. Jay Smith is out on deck as he looks to get his first plate appearance of the day. Outside, ball 1, 1-1. Arriola looking for a quick inning here. He's retired the first 2 Spartans he's faced. Trout standing in his way. Takes that inside, 2-1. Slider slipped out of his hand. Trout 1 for 3 in the game, a single and a run scored. It's part of that 6-run 4th inning that the Spartans had. Hitting at 262, takes that down low. 3-1 now the count on Trout with Smith waiting out on deck. Arriola from Waukegan, Illinois, Carroll Catholic High School. In his first year of collegiate baseball, delivers ball 4 there, and the Spartans avoid the 1-2-3 inning as Trout draws the walk. He'll head down to first, and Jay Smith will get his first at-bat of the game and his first at-bat since his 9th inning single with the bases loaded that capped off a 7-run come-from-behind win for the Spartans on Tuesday against Baldwin Wallace. Pickoff attempt at first. Smith comes back in standing up. Pardon me, Trout comes back in standing up. Matt Stolen, 3 bases on 3 attempts. He's a good base runner, just hasn't had a ton of opportunity this year. Taken up and out for a ball by Smith, and it's 1-0. Jay hitting at .315, 5 doubles, 2 triples, 18 runs batted in for Smith. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Line drive, base hit. Hard hit grounder through that right side of the infield, and another error in right field. And that will allow Trout to move up an extra bag. We'll see if that has an impact here. As the second time today we've seen A John Carroll outfielder overrun a ball and allowing a runner to get an extra base. The 5th error already for the Blue Streaks. It has not been crisp defense out there for them today. Bottom of the 7th inning, it's a 9-1 score, and now it'll be up to Nate Arterburn with 2 outs to try to drive a run in. Arterburn 0 for 2 in this one, a walk and a run scored in the 4th. We'll get the baseball switched up here. That one might have gotten a little damp from rolling around in the, what is, I'm sure, wet outfield grass. Swing and a miss from Arterburn. 0-1 the count. Nate's had a real nice season, hitting out of the 9th spot in the lineup. Again, thinking back to early in the year, he started off a little slow. Zach Carinci, same thing, started off slow. The Spartans were really getting hurt as that ball is in the dirt, and moving up without a throw on a wild pitch is Jay Smith. So Smith now at second. Trout stays at third. Second and third now with 2 away. Base hit should score 2 as that one's fouled back by Arterburn. You think back to the beginning of the year when the Spartans were getting just nothing out of the 8 and 9 hitters in the lineup, and boy, is it a different story now with the way this lineup has been constructed and what they've gotten from their bottom of the order. A chance here for Arterburn, who swings and misses, strike 3, and that will end the inning. So the Spartans held off the scoreboard. They leave runners at second and third, and we'll move to the 8th. 9-1, Spartans leading John Carroll. 2, 3, and 4 in the John Carroll order. Sowers, Balfour, and Bernotis due up when we return. Welcome back. 8th inning, 9-1 Spartans leading the Blue Streaks in the final game of the regular season for each of the two teams. Batter at the plate is Dylan Sowers, who will be getting his first at bat of the game after coming in as a pinch hitter, or a pinch runner, I should say, for Persichetti earlier in the game. He takes ball 1 from Miller, who's in his second inning of work. Ball 2 now as that misses down and out. For Miller, who's now thrown 12 pitches, he's located just 4 in the strike zone. So not the best that we've seen him at so far this year, but he got through a scoreless 7th. That ball in the air, center field. Over to get it is Trout. And there's 1 out here in the 8th. Batter now will be Carson Balfour. Balfour getting his first at bat of the game. Balfour swings and misses at the first pitch for Miller. It's 0-1. Spartans looking for their 27th win of the season. It would put them at 12-1 heading into the tournament. Is Tyler Stilson coming over and makes the catch right along the visiting dugout. Puts that away for the second out as Balfour is retired. I'll bring up Charles Bernotis to the plate, left-handed hitter facing the righty Miller. Bernotis takes the first pitch, fastball, 86 miles an hour on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Bernotis is sophomore. His first at bat of the season. He had 4 at bats last year. Takes that one up and out, 1-2. So he's making his season debut for the Blue Streaks here today. One-two. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. Backdoor slider from Miller. And that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Oliver Miller. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th, and the Spartans with a 9-1 lead when we return. Jack Anderson takes the first pitch of his at-bat here in the 8th, likely the last at-bat of the day for the Spartans. Takes the pitch for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Luis Arriola delivers the 0-1. Swung on and foul tip back, and home plate umpire Nathan Hoverston took the worst of that one. And Bobby Bell, the pitcher, or the head coach for John Carroll, is coming out to have a word with his pitcher here, and let's see if he makes a pitching change here, and what would I assume would be as much as anything, just a courtesy to the home plate umpire to give him as much time as he needs. Matt Englander will slide a couple baseballs into his pack here. Well, somewhere Nathan's, again, I believe father, Sean Hoverston, is out there probably saying, yeah, kid, this is what umpiring is like. Get used to it. Wouldn't be shocked. Haven't seen Sean around. Wouldn't be shocked if he was here today. He's probably umpiring a game of his own today, I imagine. 0-2 pitch, and Anderson fouls that one off the nub of his bat. And the count stays at 0-2 on Jack, who's walked in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Also has a base hit to his name today. 0-2 on the way. Ground ball hit up the middle and through for a base hit. Not the hardest hit of Jack's career, but a well-struck single on an 0-2 pitch. And Jack Anderson has reached base to start the 8th. And now Nick Harms will be the batter. Harms has cooled off a little bit after that red-hot stretch in UAA play. Really, that dated back toward the spring break trip. He went through about a month and a half where he was one of the better hitters in Division III baseball. Like I said, he slowed up somewhat, and that's to be expected. You can't maintain the pace he was on forever. But still effective, had an infield hit that scored 2 runs today. Takes that pitch up high, 1-0. I think some of it is that you start seeing fewer pitches to square up on when you start building the reputation that Nick has built over the course of the last few weeks. And he's a guy that teams aren't necessarily pitching around, but they're probably throwing him more breaking balls. And if you execute against him, certainly that makes it harder to get, if you're Nick, to drive a ball. Fouled off there. It's 1-1. That's why you see with Nick, again, it's the power that he's hit for is really similar to the power that he's hit for throughout his career. The 11 home runs match his career high that he's hit for each of the last 2 seasons before this one. Runner goes. The pitch is taken for a ball. Throw down to second, and it is not in time. Stolen base for Jack Anderson. Ball at the plate. For the Spartans, that is now their 41st consecutive stolen base. 2 in the game today, both by Jack Anderson, who has 17 on 18 attempts this season. So he's in scoring position now for Harms with a 2-1 count. Fastball misses outside, 3-1. Well, again, dangerous situation here for Arriola, who certainly has the option of throwing one out of the strike zone here to Harms, but if you walk him, you've got 2 on for Dane Camphausen. 3-1. And a fastball strike at the knees. Good pitch there from Arriola. Brings the count full, 3-2. Three-two pitch on the way. In the air, deep towards right center field. Back at the wall, and it is gone. Career high 12th home run of the season for Nick Harms. 106 off the bat. It traveled 393 feet. And the Spartans add on to their lead. It's now 11-1. So Nick Harms, his 2nd home run in as many games. Again, 12th of the season, a new career high for Nick. And the Spartans increase their lead now to 10 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. I'll bring Dane Camphausen to the plate. First pitch a called strike, and it's 0-1. Four RBIs now today for Nick Harms. 51 on the season. 1-1 now on Camphausen, who struck out in his last at bat. 2-1 on the way to Camphausen. And he reaches for a fastball up and out of the zone and fouls it off. And the count evens 2-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Down low, full count 3-2. So a full count on Camphausen. And a swing and a miss. And that's strike 3. So Camphausen went reaching there for the first out of the inning. Bases are now empty for Tyler Stilson with one away. Stilson 1 for 4 in the day with a base hit. His one hit was a double. Fastball, low, ball 1. So the Spartans will carry now at least a 10-run lead into the 9th inning against John Carroll, as the team looks to be headed towards its 27th win of the year. That ball rocketed into right field, coming over and making the catch on a hard hit ball by Stilson. 99 off the bat for Tyler. And there are 2 retired now in the 8th. That ball hit in the air to center field by Alonso, but making the catch out in center is Jalen Jackson, and that will end the inning. And so the Spartans will head to the 9th looking to close this one out. John Carroll will send Jackson, Biter, and D'Amelio to the plate when we come back. Well, it appears Oliver Miller will get a chance potentially for the save in the 10-run game as he comes out for his 3rd inning of work. And we'll try to close this one out with a 11-1 lead for the Spartans as we head into the 9th. Charlie Griffith is still throwing in the bullpen, so he may get an out here at some point, although I'd be a little surprised at this point unless Miller runs into trouble, because you would think that if the Spartans were going to go to the bullpen, they would have done so to start the inning. But again, you don't know at this point. That one, first pitch grounded by Jackson to short. Arterburn there, throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 9th. As Miller has now sat down the last 6 batters he's faced. And 1 away now for the 3rd baseman. Jack Biter, who's hitting at 308 on the year with 2 runs batted in. The score holds. The loss will go to Kevin Holland, who will drop to 0-1 on the season. Quinn Saunders trying to get the win. He would improve to 3-1. Miller looking for his first save of the season and of his career. Popped up, foul, and out of play on the 2-0 pitch by Biter. So it's 2-1 on the short. Where's he playing at now? Gosh, there have been so many changes in this game. I probably should know this. He's at third now. Swing and a miss. Overpowered him with a fastball there. 2-2. After you see him swing at that high fastball, and again, that fastball from Miller gets on you quick. Come back with another one of those or try to break one off in the dirt. He does come with a curveball. It's popped up. Shallow left, could be trouble. Over to get it, though, is Arterburn, and he puts it away for the second out. And the Spartans now an out away from the win. And we'll get a pinch hitter here. This will be Mason Vance, who will step up for the designated hitter, Sam D'Amelio. So Vance, the last hope here for John Carroll. Hitting at .500 on the year. Limited plate appearances for Vance, who's just 1 of 2. He's appearing in his 4th game of the season. First pitch. And he fouls it off, 0-1. And I believe we just took out a window. 2nd of the season. Get to work, Carson. Vance, a senior out of Canton. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. If you've never been here to Nobby's Ballpark, there's a handful of dorms that are located off the first base side, and every once in a while, a foul ball will take out a window. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. And usually that elicits a pretty nice cheer from the crowd when it happens. I've called enough games now here, 10 years worth, give or take a few pandemic years where we didn't have as many home games. Another one foul back. But I've called enough games here to know the crowd cheers a little differently when a window gets taken out at the ballpark. Misses a little inside. 2-2. 2-2, 2 away. Bases empty. 9th inning. Spartans leading 11-1. 11 unanswered runs for the Spartans, and that'll do it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Anderson applies the tag. And the Spartans end their season on a 5-game winning streak as they'll head into the tournament in a week and change with a 27-12-1 overall record. So Case Western Reserve, a strong finish to the year. John Carroll on the season will drop to 22-15. They'll head into the OAC tournament next weekend. Meanwhile, Case Western Reserve, again, 27-12-1. Winning pitcher today is Quinn Saunders. He is now 3-1 on the season. Oliver Miller gets his first save of the year. Again, the loss goes to Kevin Holland. He drops to 0-1. Today's game lasted 2 hours and 32 minutes, and attendance here at the ballpark was 436 for today's game. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us. A reminder that this is it for the regular season, but we'll hopefully be back with you in the postseason, as the Spartans certainly appear to be in a halfway decent spot to potentially host an NCAA postseason round. So we'll be back with you hopefully in a few weeks. If not, it's been a pleasure as always to cover these games this year, and hopefully we'll get a few more coming. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you later. Final score today, 11-1. The Spartans with the win over John Carroll. Have a great rest of your weekend, and take care.